Manchester City remain within touching distance of Premier League leaders Arsenal after securing a dominant 5-1 win over Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Etihad Stadium on Saturday evening. Leading marksman Erling Haaland inspired the citizens to victory with 4 goals, including a first-half hat-trick, slotting 2 composed penalties beyond Jose either side of a powerful header at the back post. Hwang Hee-Chan pulled in one back for Wolves shortly after half-time, but their hopes of a comeback quickly evaporated when Haaland fired home his 4th less than a minute later to restore City's 3-goal advantage. Leading marksman Erling Haaland inspired the citizens to victory with 4 goals, including a first-half hat-trick, slotting 2 composed penalties beyond Jose either side of a powerful header at the back post. Hwang Hee-Chan pulled in one back for Wolves shortly after half-time, but their hopes of a comeback quickly evaporated when Haaland fired home his 4th less than a minute later to restore City's 3-goal advantage. Haaland, who had a plethora of chances to score more in the final half-hour, received a standing ovation as he left the field in the closing stages, before his replacement Julian Alvarez slotted home a 5th to seal a comfortable victory for Pep Guardiola's men. Victory for Man City means they remain second in the table but have moved back to within 1 point of leaders Arsenal, who beat Bournemouth 3-0 earlier this afternoon, and still have a game in hand on the Gunners. The champions looked hungry from the off, and after a few early chances, Josco Gvardiol was wiped out in the box by Ryan Adenori after blazing a shot over, giving referee Craig Pawson no other choice but to point to the penalty spot in the 12th minute. Haaland stepped up and sent it the wrong way with a confident spot kick. Man City continued to dominate proceedings, but just as Wolves began to grow into the contest, the citizens doubled their lead 10 minutes before the break when Rodri clipped a looping cross towards the back post for Haaland to thump a towering header into the far corner. Guardiola's side were then awarded another penalty on the stroke of half-time after Nelson Semedo was penalized, following an on-field VAR review, for a late challenge on Haaland who had burst through on goal. The Norwegian once again made no mistake from the penalty spot, firing the ball to the right of for a second time to complete his hat-trick, becoming just the 3rd different player to score 2 first-half hat-tricks in Premier League history. Wolves failed to register a single shot on goal in the first half, but they scored with what proved to be their only attempt on target throughout the match 5 minutes after the break to give them a glimmer of hope. Substitute Jean-Richner Bellegarde, who replaced Mario Lemina at half-time, burst down the right and whipped an inviting cross into the danger zone, one that Ederson failed to deal with and swatted straight into the path of Hwang to confidently tap home at the back post, his 2nd goal in as many games against City. Wolves' celebrations were instantly muted, though, as Haaland went up the other end less than a minute later to score his and City's 4th. Meeting a lofted through ball from Foden before shrugging off a challenge from Max Kilman and whipping a powerful strike into the far corner, beating it all ends up. Man City then rubbed salt into Wolves' wounds when substitute Alvarez rolled a clinical strike into the bottom right corner 5 minutes from time to seal 3 valuable points for Guardiola and co. The citizens are next in action against Fulham at Craven Cottage on May 11, the same day Wolves welcome Crystal Palace to Molineux.